It's early in the morning and this room is a mess.
Hello, welcome to episode 24 of Nicole O's World Podcast. I am your wonderful host, Nicole. I want to say welcome to new and returning viewers, and thank you so much for checking me out. If you're a new viewer, I hope you come back and check me out next week. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back another week. I greatly appreciate it. All right, today is Friday, March the 21st, 2014. In case you missed it, spring has sprung, even though it don't feel like spring has sprung. Spring, they say we're in spring, so we'll see. Hopefully it'll warm up. How is everybody? I hope good. I'm doing good. If you're a new viewer, you could have noticed that this video is uploading today on Friday. Normally I record my videos on a Thursday, but I have a little bit going on in my life right now that I've had to the past week change it to a Friday or Saturday. I will hopefully come next week. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Hopefully next week I will be getting back to Thursday recordings. Alright, we got some administrati to talk about, some works in progress. Oh, quick note, happy belated St. Patrick's Day to anybody. Happy birthday to everybody that's watching that has March birthdays. Alright, administrati. We have a Ravelry group, Nicole O's World Podcast. And in that Ravelry group, in the Rav group, I have a thread opened up for March finished objects. So if you have any finished objects and you'd like to show them off, go ahead and place them in there. If you're wondering what I'm drinking, I am drinking some water flavored with the sugar-free Hawaiian fruit punch flavor packets for water. This is blueberry and it is really good. I love it. Anyways, moving on, I digress there. Another thing, if you are watching me via iTunes and you are subscribed to me under the link where you see the people throwing the sand, you have till the end of the month to change to my new subscription feed where it's the sand, it's like swirly. Written in blue letters is Nicole O's World Podcast. That is the feed you need. That is the badge that you need to subscribe to. In fact, I will put the logo right here, right now, so you guys can see it. So here we go. Alright, that's the logo. That is the new logo if you watch me on iTunes that you need to subscribe to. If you are watching me via our blog at nicolos.blogspot.com, you're fine. You don't have to worry. And if you're watching me on iTunes, no need to worry. You're fine. Nothing's going to change. That's just for people, again, on iTunes that subscribe to me. Also, if you watch me on iTunes and you leave a comment, please let me know, because I don't always know if somebody leaves me a comment on iTunes. So if you do, feel free to email me at our email address at nicolosworldpodcast@gmail.com and let me know you left a comment, and I will gladly check it out and read it on air. Alright, that is administrati. Oh, the new badge thing. It will take effect March 31st, so you have to the end of the month to subscribe to the new badge. Just so you guys know, so that you subscribe to the new feed. Alright, that is that. I am going to go into a little bit of life quick. I'm changing things up. Normally I go into it last. So I'm going into what's going on in my life quick. If you don't want to listen to it, you can just fast forward through this part. I'm sorry, my allergies are acting up. My nose is running, my sinuses, so that's one thing going on, my allergies, like everybody else. Funny, snow still on the ground here and things are blooming. Anyways, I'm not complaining. Glad spring is coming. I am on the last chapter of my course for getting certified to sell health insurance. I will be going to take a pre-test for the final exam. I have a class, I have a seminar, I should say, that I have to go to for it. So that will be scheduled as soon as I take my last chapter test, which will be on Monday. I've been doing really well on the chapter test. I've been getting anywhere from a 73 to an 86, so that's good. I just flew through the chapters. I was amazed. So much information, but it's going to be so worth it. Nobody said making changes in life was easy. Other than that, just been running some errands with a good friend and talking antiques with them and talking about what's going on. We were briefly talking maybe about going to Maryland Sheep and Wool in May, but I'm not 100% certain. I am not 100% certain if I am going to Maryland Sheep and Wool in May. I would love to go. If I do go, I will let you know, and hopefully we can have a little meetup and chit chat. So yeah, that's basically what's been going on with my life. Nothing dramatically too exciting going on. As far as I talked about last week about the health insurance bit, I am waiting on healthcare.gov's end to see what's going on. Their systems are down. I called them today, so I have to call back within 24 hours. I figured I'll give it to Monday because it's a weekend. Alright, that's life. Let's jump into knitting and crocheting. Finished objects. I don't have any. And as I said, I don't have any because of what's been going on with my life at home. I've been more worried about finishing my course than knitting and crocheting. However, sorry, that is my phone. I thought I put it on vibrate. However, I am surprised. I have worked on 2 new things as well as 1 current thing. Not only do I'm digressing here, but not only do my allergy pills help, but they dry me out. Alright. That we're going to talk about later. It's in my bag. I have to get it out. My little Notions Namaste bag I got at Knit Picks. I love this bag. I want to get another one. Alright. I am working on my purple print sweater, also known as Mr. Green Jeans. And that's by Amy Swanson. It's a pattern at Knitty. It's a free pattern on Rav. And this, it is a free pattern, but I don't want to give too much of it away. Here's the front of it. Sorry if it's a glare. I have it in my little protector sheet. I don't know. I know I'm not the only one that does that, but I keep it in little protector sheets. Oh, here's the back of it. I wanted to show you all the back. That is what the back of the sweater looks like. Do that one. Here I am. Sorry, I had to fix my pages. This, as I said, this sweater is working up fairly quickly. I have it kept in my little quad bag that I won from the Turbo Knitter podcast. Alright. Progress. here is where I was last week on the sleeve. And here is where I am at now on my sleeve. So a little bit of progress. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Little bit of progress from last week. It's coming along good. I did the sleeve, the decrease, the words, Nicole, slow down. I started the decrease part for the sleeve is where I am at right now, where you decrease till you have so many stitches. I did that. And now I'm just basically working stockinette until it measures 9.25 inches, or as long as I want it. I am actually going to make the sleeve as long as I want, because it's my sweater and I can customize my sweater the way I want it to. But if you're new, I will show you guys what it looks like from the front. Here's the front, which you've seen the inside, and here is the back. And in case you can't see, that's what it's cables. And I really love this. I really love the way the sweater's coming out. If you've made this sweater before, you're going to be like, Nicole, you didn't go all the way with the cables. They're supposed to be longer. Yes, but I did mine shorter because when I put it on, I don't know if I can put it on for you guys. Hang on. Yes, I can. Hang on, I'll show y'all. I'll model it for you. Because it's at the point where I can try it on. And keep in mind, obviously, hang on, I dropped my ball of yarn, that is, sorry. It's rolling because it's not blocked yet, obviously. And I don't have the border on. So it's not sitting right, but here's what it looks like. It comes to right here to me, but I figure once I block it, it's going to grow considerably on me. And I'm short, so yeah. So this is what it looks like. Again, once I block it, it's going to grow. So I'm not worried that it looks short. But I'm happy with how it's coming out. My sleeves, I'm actually going to make my sleeves down to here or to here, because I know I have to do the cuff. And once I block it, it's going to be, the sleeve is going to be long. And if you're wondering what colorway this is, it is Venus Choice in the purple print colorway, color 202. You can still buy this color yarn. And the reason I know, I picked up a 4-ounce ball of it at Joann's. And here is how much I have left of that 4-ounce ball yet. As I said, this is coming along really well. I did have it on double point needles, but because you have to bind off, I'm there and I'm turning and it was getting all completely twisted. And it was making it a pain to work with the double pointed needles. I liked it because there's like, you just feel like a right around the DPNs. Keep in mind, people, I used to hate DPNs. I hated double pointed needles with a passion because I had the hardest time getting, motion sickness there, sorry people, because I had the hardest time figuring out how to connect it to work in the round, till one day I figured it out. I was making it harder than what it was supposed to be. Now I like using DPNs, but it was becoming a pain with the sweater, so I have them back on my 24-inch circular knit picks cable needles using my Caspians, my 5.5mm Caspians. I am not a fan of these interchangeable Caspians. They have actually come loose from here. I still have to glue them. So I am not as you can see, it comes out. The glue came loose, obviously, and I have to glue it. So I'm not a huge fan of the Caspian needles. I'm sure maybe their double points are a lot better than their interchangeables. So maybe I'll try the double points. We'll see. But this is coming along good. I worked on this a little bit this week. And again, it works up really quickly. I was surprised at how quick it has worked up. I was expecting the sleeve not to get as long as it did. Yes, I am on the last row repeat for the decreasing in the round. Yeah, I am. Sorry, I have myself confused. I'm decreasing last time in the round. Alright, we can stick that. This is actually getting too small for this bag, so I have to stuff. And those of you with project bags, I mean, you gotta stuff your project into when it gets too big. Alright, that is that. Alright, I'll set that down there. Next, the pattern I got is out of Crochet Today, and it is in their April-May 2014 issue. I know I bookmarked it. I am doing their sidelines tank top, and the pattern is by Marley Bird. Or if you find it on Rav, it's called Swing Away Tank. I don't want to go into too much detail because it's in the Crochet Today magazine. But I will say, if you're crocheter and you're wondering, it says that the skill level is easy. It calls for red heart soft yarn, and size H 5mm crochet hook, and size I9 5.5mm crochet hook. And the yarn weight is a 4, which is like a worsted. And here's what the top looks like. I think the top is extremely pretty. I love it. As soon as I got this issue and I looked through the magazine, I'm like, I must make that top. I love that top. There's another picture of it, but here's one I can show you because there's no pattern on it. This is what it looks like. I am currently on the joining the shoulders row of it. And the yarn that I am using, because I'm not using the Red Heart soft yarn, I am using Red Heart Super Saver in the turquoise colorway. It's the same weight that they call for, which is the medium. Which, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, because I know not everybody knows what I'm talking about here for that, especially if you're new to knitting and crocheting, which we've all been there. A medium is a worsted, Afghan, or Aran weight. And if you're wondering how I know all these and how I want to keep it straight, some magazines in the back have this thing where they classify the yarn. And a lot of times if I'm making a pattern and it says, 4-ply, sport weight, or sport weight, and I'm like, and I don't always want to order the nicey yarn and I want to use acrylic. I know acrylic. I look it up. I look up on my little index to see what number it is. Or sometimes some patterns say use medium 4 or use 0, which is a lace weight, and you're like, what's 0? Or you want to buy a lace weight and you're like, well, what's the numbering system for it? So I always refer to my standard yarn weight system, which is an extremely big help when it comes to patterns. I absolutely love it. I don't know if I'm the only one that does. But as I was saying, the pattern itself calls for Red Heart yarn in their soft selection. But I'm using Red Heart Super Saver in the turquoise colorway. It's yarn that I have in my stash, and I'm trying to use as much stash yarn as possible. That way I can buy more. We can never have too much yarn, can we? No. I thought I put my crochet hook in here. Anyways, here's what it is looking like so far. And this is the back panel. I'm working on the back. Obviously, I can't go to my back and show you. That won't come out right. But here's what it looks like. Here's what it would look like so far if it was facing me in the back. Obviously, the back is wider than the front. But I think it's coming out really good. And this pattern seems to work up fairly quick, too. Now it's going to drive me batty because I cannot find my crochet hook. I thought I slipped a little I usually slip my crochet hook in here, but evidently I did no such thing. And I better find it because I like that crochet hook. I thought I felt it. Ha! It is in here. I did feel it. Alright, I am using the 5.5 millimeter, the I-9. Here it is. And this is by Boye, B-O-Y-E. I happen to like this crochet hook. But I do want to get the ones maybe where the handle's like a little bigger for my hand sometimes because, it gets sore sometimes. Anyways, if you're a crocheter, you probably know exactly what I mean sometimes. You're like, But this is coming along good. It's being kept in my little Puma bag. When I got sneakers one time from Puma, I got a bag and I couldn't deem throwing it away because I'm like, that would not be very useful to throw the bag away when I can reuse it for something else. Excuse me. Sorry if you have earbuds. So this is all being kept in there. And I stuffed my crochet hook in the back of my crocheting. Because that's being kept in there. Alright, next. You guys will remember, I'm excited because I couldn't show you guys this last week because I didn't start it. I started my Hawaiian friendship sweater from Mel from the Single-Handed Knits podcast. I can never say the name of it. I do not know how they say the name of this sweater. So if you know how to say it, please let me know. I do not want to butcher it. I call it my Hawaiian friendship sweater. And here's what it looks like. It is a paid for pattern, so I cannot give too much of it away. But I will show you where I am at. It kind of looks like a blob on here, but this is the progress I made just within one day. This is just one day's worth of progress. I am using Karin Simply Soft in their sky blue or light blue colorway. Here's what I'm using, the 1 pounder. And I am loving the way it is coming along. It is working up quickly. It is a raglan top down. And I will say I love Mel's pattern. It is so easy to follow and to understand. I know some patterns, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but not all knit and crochet patterns are always easy to understand the way they're written. So I can say this is easy to understand the way it's written. And I know it looks like a blob on my needles, but that is how far I got. As I said, it is raglan. You can see the raglan markings. It is coming along amazingly well. I absolutely love it. It is a fun knit. I am going to do the buttons. I don't have the buttons in my project bag. I have them put away in fear that I'm going to lose them. So next week when I'm further along, hopefully I can show you guys the buttons I have matched up with this. But that is where I am. I will put a locking stitch marker in there to show you guys after I'm done doing this, so that next week you can see my progress. As I said, it's such a fun knit. She explains very well and what to do if you need to add more stitches. So that is that. That is everything that I am working on. Oh, and if you're wondering what size needle that is, that's a US 8 5mm circular knitting needle. And I'm using the I'm using metal needles. I originally had them on some needles I absolutely hate it, which I'm going to talk about now. I have no stash enhancement, so I'm just going to go into it. This is annoying me. If any of you went to Hobby Lobby, you may see like their Yarnology stuff. Well, I bought these needles, they're Yarnology US size 8 5mm knitting needles. I absolutely hate these. And the reason why I hate these, it isn't the needles I hate. It is the cable I hate. You guys will see the cable. I absolutely hate this cable. It is horrible to work with when you're working with the yarn that I'm using to make my sweater. And I've used this to make a hat, and the same trouble. Even though it gets heavier, it makes it harder, and I'm there. Just say like I got stitches on here, I'm going like this constantly to get it to move, and then the other stitches just go poof. I hate these needles. I don't want to get rid of them. Maybe they'll come in use for a different type of yarn that they'll be better on. But for now, they're down. Thumbs down. I am so sorry, people. I cannot talk today. I don't know why. Okay. That is everything that I have worked on. I guess I'll do a little quick quick little chat about television. I don't know what's wrong with me. I cannot talk right today. I'm sorry. Alright, Downton Abbey on Netflix. I am watching the second season of it, and wow, it's really good so far. I don't want to give too much away in case you're watching and you never watched Downton Abbey and you want to watch it. I don't want to spoil it, but wow. And I love the clothes and how they were for that time period. I'm like, wow. And it's funny because even though they're what you consider upper crust, it's like you can still relate to them and to the staff. So it's kind of funny. I watched that. What else did I watch? Oh, I'm sorry. I watched that. There's another one I watched on Netflix. I only watched one episode. I wasn't too enthused about it. I don't even remember the name of it. But it starts off back. It takes place after the Civil War. This family comes into money, their new money, and they hire a governess. They were living at the Atlantic Hotel. I cannot remember the name of it. But anyhow, it's an okay show. I'll give it another try. But a show that I got hooked on, and it's a Netflix original series, is called Hemlock Grove. Has anybody ever, besides me, watched Hemlock Grove? It's amazing. I just love it. It's a sci-fi-ish teeny type show. But I don't know if it's like geared towards teens, but the cast is teenagers. But I love it. It's like, if you haven't seen it, you're kind of gonna get spoiler. It's kind of like this family, this mother and son move into this town. They take over his grandfather's trailer because he died, and they're wolves, and there's a series of murders going on in town, and they're blaming the new people for it. And these new people, the kid befriends this kid that has money. They become friends, and there's something special about that kid and his sister. And I have yet to figure out what it is, but I'm addicted to the show. I'm like, oh. So I've been watching that, and I've been catching up on podcasts. So that is what is going on. And as far as regular TV show goes on cable, I like watching Intelligence. If anybody's ever seen that, that's pretty interesting to see a guy that they put a computer chip in his brain and he could just access everything. It's like, wow. CSI, I saw CSI on Wednesday. That was really good yet twisted. I couldn't get over the ending. It was not what I expected it to be. I didn't expect anybody in that family to survive. Criminal Minds, that was really good. Really surprising. Not how I thought it was going to end. But it was good because I was glad it didn't end the way I expected it to. Tonight is Hawaii Five-0. If anybody likes that, I'm a Hawaii Five-0 fan. In fact, what I'm going to do on the group is, you know what, because there are several TV shows I watch, I think I'm going to open up a thread for TV chatter. That way we can chat about it in case I'm not the only one that watches it. And those of you that watch me on YouTube, I am thinking of doing a separate video just for TV chatter. If you guys are interested in it, let me know. Yeah, so I guess I should let you guys go so that I can edit this. Quick note. Number one, as I said, I don't like to talk politics and all that too much on my show because we all have our own personal beliefs. But I will say this, what is going on over in Russia right now, this whole over in the Ukraine with Russia, what's going on there, I will say that it is sad. You know, there's a there is a power struggle going on over there. I feel completely bad for those people. However, I also kind of feel that we need to keep our nose out of it. I do pray that something does get resolved. Those people want to be independent in their own country. Let them go. Let them be their own country. They're not hurting nobody. And as far as the Boeing flight that's missing, we can all come up with our own theories about what happened, that everything from aliens abducted it, to it was hijacked, to it's in kind of like a Bermuda Triangle thing, or there was no plane. I mean, all I'm going to say is I'm surprised that the media does not have the families plastered all over the news about where are they, about them, wanting to know about them. I mean, I have my own theories, but I'm not going to be like, hey guys, here's what I think, blah, 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 because you probably don't care or whatever. But, it is a sad situation. I do hope that they get actual right answers. I know that they have searched the Indian Ocean today, or is it yesterday? But recent reports on the news, I heard they were searching the Indian Ocean and they have come up with nothing. All I'm going to say on this is there's how many satellites in space above us from how many countries? You mean to tell me that none of those satellites picked up a huge Boeing 777? I mean, a Boeing 777 is not hard to miss. Can't be hard to miss it on a satellite. Somebody had to have picked up something. That's all I'm going to say. It's such a sad, sad situation. I feel terrible for their loved ones. I pray that those passengers are safe. I know that's not looking good, but I pray that they're safe. And I pray that answers are gotten. Alright, I'm going to let you guys go. Enough of this. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I will chat with you guys again next week. Until then, be safe. Bye.